eat her for walking out of my dad's birthday dinner after being ambushed by my stepmom. I, 25, have always had a complicated relationship with my dad and his wife. My stepmom, my parents divorced when I was 8, and my dad remarried shortly after. His new wife brought 2 kids into the marriage, and they later had 2 more together. So, I have 4 half-siblings and 2 step-siblings, only younger than me. Growing up, I felt like I was always the odd one out. My dad's focus was on his new family, and while I was never outright excluded, I always felt like an afterthought. My mom raised me, and I visited my dad every other weekend. But as I got older, the visits became less frequent. I've made an effort to keep the peace over the years for the sake of my dad. I visit for holidays, attend family events, and try to bond with my half-siblings. But my stepmom and I have never really gotten along. She's always criticizing me and my career, my clothes, even my decision to stay single for now. My dad usually stays out of it, saying he doesn't want to take sides. Last week was my dad's 50th birthday, and my stepmom organized a big dinner at a fancy restaurant. I showed up with a gift and was genuinely excited to celebrate him. Things were fine until dessert. That's when my stepmom stood up and said, "Since we're all here, it's the perfect time to address some issues as a family." I immediately felt uneasy. She launched into a speech about how I've been distant and don't do enough to blend into the family. She brought up things like how I don't call her on Mother's Day, I babysit my half-siblings when they need help. She even mentioned that I missed a family barbecue last month, which I had already explained was due to work. Then my dad chimed in. He said he agreed with her and that it was time for me to make more of an effort to be part of the family. He added that I should apologize to my stepmom for being cold toward her. I was stunned. This wasn't a birthday dinner, it was an ambush. I asked if anyone else felt this way, and my stepmom's parents, who were also there, chimed in, saying they'd always thought I was too independent and didn't value family enough. At that point, I'd had enough. I stood up and said, "If this is what you invited me here for, I'm leaving." My dad tried to stop me, saying I was being dramatic, but I walked out. I went home, turned off my phone, and cried. Since then, my stepmom has been blowing up my phone, calling me selfish and ungrateful. My dad texted me, saying he was disappointed in how I handled things and that I should have stayed to talk it out. Even my mom, who I told about the situation, said I could have stayed to keep the peace. LOL. I feel like I was ambushed and humiliated in front of everyone. I'll eat her for walking out instead of staying and addressing the issues.